I went all the way to this CEX specifically to pick up this one game, and when I picked it up, I saw this. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the free trading game collection, the series where I look to build this video game collection without spending any money out of pocket. The playlist is linked down below. Now, in the last episode or two, I had credit for CEX, and we spent all of it. In fact, I had to add money to it. But the one thing I didn't mention was why I went for Roller Coaster Tycoon Adventures, and it was because one of the games in the CEX that I went to, and I went this specifically for this game, was a reprinted cover. It was Ori, the complete collection. So there's two Ori games, The Blind Forest and Will-o'-the-Wisp, I think. So they are obviously combined in the collection, and that is £38 in CEX. I planned to go there and pick that one game up. Unfortunately, when I picked it up, it was a reprinted cover. I get annoyed by reprinted covers, and I know a lot of people say that you can't blame CEX because one of the main reasons that they have reprinted covers in the first place is because people steal the original covers because they have the loose game. They're going to steal the insert or the case, for example, and then they have a complete copy, which does make sense, and that is very, very annoying, and people who do that are scum. But at the same time, it's also annoying that then CEX will continue to charge full price or not put on the website that this one is a particular reprinted cover. It's a little bit difficult to do that. Maybe I'm nitpicking, but at the same time, I was disappointed. In today's episode, though, I am going to pick up a Facebook Marketplace pickup, which was a pretty good deal. I think it was originally listed for 25. It was a bunch of PlayStation 4 games. So I offered 20, they accepted, and I went to pick it up.
There we are. Thank you. Cheers, mate. Nice one. Appreciate it.
I'd love to be able to film those encounters. There was just, I don't know, he just kept smiling the entire time. I've got no idea why. He was like, hello. Okay, hi. So, 20 quid. There are the games. I was going to go and take them to trade in immediately. The problem I've got is I'm not going to get there before the shop shuts. So I'm going to have to go another day, and I don't think I have it in me to go tomorrow, so I'm hoping the prices don't drop. I did say I was maybe thinking of selling two of them to make the money back. I don't know if I'm going to bother. I was going to get cash from CEX, but the cash is actually not as much as I thought it was going to be. I looked at the trade prices. I thought cash is going to be a couple of quid less, right? No, it's a lot less on some of these games. It's a bit dark, but just quickly, there's Modern Warfare, Kingdom Hearts, Jedi Fallen Order, Avengers, Valhalla, which we have on the PS5, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Borderlands 3. They're all in there, all checked, all in good condition. Let's get back, I'm freezing.
So 7 games for £20, which was a very, very good deal. 7, my new favourite number as well. So I traded 5 of them and I kept 2. 2 of them on the list were games that I was planning on picking up anyway, so I'll show you those in just a second. But some of these trade prices really did surprise me when I first looked them up. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which of course we have on the PS5 here, that actually traded for £12 on the PS4. I think I paid 12 for this on the PS5, so that was always going to get traded. That was a pretty good deal. Another one of the games that sort of half surprised me, I guess, was Guardians of the Galaxy. That traded for 10. Star Wars traded for 5. Call of Duty, which still holds value. Every single Call of Duty title has a small degree of value, obviously some more than others. This particular one traded for 6. And then Avengers, of course, that traded for 5. I don't have any interest in most things Marvel. Yes, you can probably see Deadpool behind me, but most Marvel games I have no interest in. So I traded that in, giving us a grand total of what you can see on screen there. So we have that much credit to go and spend in CEX, which is nice. I also have £16 from the Nacon controller, which I keep forgetting about, that I also have. We may or may not use some of that today. But the 2 games I ended up keeping, by process of elimination, you can work it out already. Borderlands 3 and Kingdom Hearts 3, which is, yeah, a bit weird, but there we are. So I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game. I don't really know anything about Kingdom Hearts, although I do know that it has a whole host of random characters from the majority of Disney things. There's just so many Disney characters in this, and I am a huge Disney fan. In fact, in the, I wouldn't say very near future, but in the future, we will have some some Disney content on this channel. Now, I don't mean me playing a Disney game. I am going to Disney relatively soon, so I'll probably show you some content there, and I will look around some of the US game stores as well, so look forward to that. Borderlands is a game that I love the art style of. The cell shading in this is insane, but I haven't actually played it properly, so I'm looking forward to do that. They weren't really games that traded in for an awful lot, so I thought I may as well keep them, as they're probably going to be games that I look to pick up in the future anyway. CEX in, I think, Bedminster, I'm looking around here, and a very sexy 360 section. Quite a few games I was after. I think Need for Speed Carbon is high on the list. Unfortunately, this CEX didn't seem to have it for whatever reason. Quite frustrating, but sometimes that's just the way it goes. But they did have a couple of other games that I've been looking for quite a while, one of which I decided to add to the pile, because it's a game that I've wanted for months. I mentioned this in the Game Pass video I did a little while ago. I had this game, and up until a certain point in the story, the disc I originally had just stopped working. I cleaned it a couple of times using disc cleaners in work, and it just didn't work. So I had to get rid of it, and then eventually on Game Pass I managed to finish it. But now I have my own copy, and I've started playing it again. It is Fight Night Champion. This is still the best boxing game to have ever graced planet Earth. Yes, Undisputed is a very, very good game, but it just doesn't, at the moment anyway, live up to this one, in my opinion. It's mad when you think about how old Fight Night Champion is and how good it actually is, and the mechanics of it and even the story of it. Really happy to add this. It was £8 at the time. I've got no idea if that's gone up or down, because this was a little while ago now, a good couple of weeks that I bought this. So that's finally going into the collection. I've seen a few of these in the wild, but they've been cracked or really badly damaged. This isn't in the best of conditions, but it does work. So £8 spent of the credit. I mean, technically speaking, we have 30 left now. That's worked out quite nicely, but of course we do have that Nacon credit in reserve if I need it. One platform I have been neglecting quite heavily in this series is GameCube. There are a lot of games on the GameCube that aren't that expensive, considering how expensive the system is overall, that I actually wouldn't mind picking up, one of which is really cheap, and we're going to get into that immediately. It is ISS2. I played this a lot back in the day. I remember going to the Millennium Dome, which is now called the O2 Arena, I'm thinking, unless they've changed it again. I went there for like an expo type thing, and I think this game, or the first game, one or the other, was on display there, and I got to play it with a friend, and the game went to extra time, and the guy who was running the booth got really annoyed because there was a huge queue, and I don't think he wanted us to play extra time, but we literally didn't give him a choice. But it was such a fun time, and from there on in, ISS and even Pro Evo up into a certain point was a very, very memorable experience, and I just really liked this game, so for £2 was always picking that up, and it's complete. And then we head back into CEX to have a little rummage around the GameCube section. Quite a few games there that I wouldn't mind picking up. The Lord of the Rings games on the GameCube, for some reason, I want them. I don't know why, because of course we are starting that collection on the PS2. I have 2 towers, and they are available in my CEX, actually. They're £5 each for the remaining 2. I'm not counting the Fellowship as a Lord of the Rings game, even though I probably will pick it up at some point. But for some reason, they just entice me on the GameCube, so I think I probably will pick them up on there as well. And I'm flip-flopping between that, but I have decided, I now understand why people pick multiple games on different systems. So for example, there are plenty of Xbox 360 games that I have and still want that I think I'm probably going to pick up on the PS3 as well. There are reasons behind that, and when I eventually do that, I will explain why I'm doing it. But for right now, let me show you the game I've picked up on the GameCube. Now this one isn't complete, unfortunately, and I'm a little bit disappointed by that, but I don't see it ever. It is the Universal Theme Park Adventure. I am a big Disney fan, obviously, but I love Universal as well. Florida is one of my favourite places in the world. The theme parks there are incredible, and I just love being there. So having a game on the GameCube where you can essentially just walk around, as it says on the back, this is a VIP ticket to this theme park. So walking around, going through the old exhibits that are not there anymore, the Jaws ride, the Back to the Future ride. Big fan of this, and I'm really looking forward to popping this in the Wii. I'm playing it because we don't have a GameCube. We need to fix that. That brings me to the final 2 games in this video. We have spent the majority of the money now, so I think we are going to have to dip in to the Nacon controller credit, but that's okay, that's what it's there for. And I have a whole host of credit to come as well. I've got stacks and stacks of games and things to go through. I've got a lot of credit to get through as well. So look forward to that in future episodes. But for now, we are going to showcase the penultimate game, which is a Mega Drive game. I think there are 4 of these on the Mega Drive in terms of the series. I already have one of them. This one is Urban Strike, a really, really good game. To be fair, I didn't play this one anywhere near as much as I did Desert Strike and Jungle Strike as well. But Desert Strike for me was the main one. We already have that in the collection, although the artwork isn't amazing. So I will look to upgrade that at some point. This is complete with a manual, which is really nice. This, of course, is part of that few Mega Drive games I picked up in the last episode. I think I picked up Wrestle War and Paperboy. Both of those, I believe, are complete, and I think they all came from the same person who traded them all in, because they're all complete. They're all in very similar condition to each other, which was nice. So I've picked up someone's Mega Drive collection here, but there we are, Urban Strike going into the collection. Look forward to popping that in and reliving some past memories. The final game that I picked up in CEX, I think the CEX was Bedminster CEX, which I do really like. I wish they'd sort their counter out. It's just not long enough. I know they can't really do much about that, but it's just a really tight, confined space. But apart from that, very good selection behind the glass as well. They've got a lot of really nice stuff, a lot of expensive Mega Drive games that at some point I may pick up. But the final game is indeed a Mega Drive game, and it's one of my favourite of all time. Just before I get to that final item though, let me update the figures, otherwise I'm going to lose track. So on screen for you are the figures from before the last episode. And then in the last episode, I actually calculated that we were going to add around £80 in value to the collection with the Wii games and the PS4 games. And I had calculated around £80 in cash going in through profit. However, someone in the comment section pointed out that FIFA 2005 on the PS1 was the last FIFA on the system, and it was actually worth money. So I looked it up, and they were right. It's worth around 20 to 25. It's actually sold for £21 plus postage. So minus fees and everything, we're putting around £98 worth of profit into the series from that last episode. That takes us to around £435 in cash profit, as well as a pretty healthy collection value. However, I do need to take out 20 quid from this episode, and we're going to add around £45 in value to the collection, which is pretty nice. Now, without any further ado, let's get into that final item. Sensible Soccer. If you know, you know. This game is outrageously good. £15 as I mentioned. I've been playing this a lot on the PS Vita, like the emulator. Unfortunately, I don't know why, maybe it's something I've done wrong, maybe it's just something that emulators don't do. I can't save any of my progress when playing any of the emulators on the PS Vita. If you know how to fix that, or if there is a fix for it, put it in the comment section. But yeah, really frustrating that I actually went through a lot of changes for teams and players and things on the Vita, and then turned it off one day, turned it back on the next day, and it all reset. So I was a bit frustrated by that. But I've started doing it now on the Mega Drive. But yeah, what a game. Honestly, it's such a fun football game. I would much rather sit down and play this these days than I would FIFA 23. Even though I don't mind FIFA, I just had a lot more fun playing this. And it's just, I don't know, just a little bit more enjoyable. The graphics are also insane, obviously. And that brings us to the end of the video. If you want to check out a time where I picked up some more bargains, you can click this video here. And until the next time, goodbye.